Greetings viewers, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are once again back on the 2015 Outback project car. In today's video, we've got a big old box of Subaru genuine parts to install on this car, including air filter, cabin air filter, PCV valve, PCV hose, serpentine belt, and much more. With that said, let's go ahead and jump in to these services and repairs. So guys, one thing I can say about Subaru is they've always been super easy to service and repair, but it seems that they're getting easier to service and repair as we get along, other than, you know, a couple of things here and there. So let's start with the easiest thing first, and that'll be our serpentine belt. Part number is 23780AA140. Go ahead and knock off the belt guard. Got a 10mm headed bolt there. Then we got a little plastic nubbin over here. Once that's out of the way, all we gotta do is put a wrench on our automatic belt tensioner, 15mm, turn it, and pull our old belt off. Actually lock it there on the alternator to hold our belt tension. Slide the old belt out of there. So mileage unknown on everything basically on this car, but you know, it's looking kind of dried out. Grooves are getting kind of deep on it. Might as well, for the money, replace it so I don't have to worry about it snapping on me down the road somewhere. I'll give you a quick side-by-side of the old belt and the new belt. Right there. Throw around the crank pulley, over top of the belt tensioner, between the belt and the alternator, around the alternator pulley, over the AC compressor, down to the water pump. Around the water pump, over our idler, and back around the crank pulley. And we are all set. Let's make sure we are seated in all of our grooves, and we are good to go. Just that quick and simple to replace your serpentine belt all on your own. Now we gotta do is pop our cover back in place, push that little nub in till it pops in, seats fully, and tighten your tin. And all done. Next little routine maintenance service item is our engine air filter, which is a 16546AA12A. You got two clips here on your air box. Should be able to push that back far enough to get your air filter out without having to disassemble anything. And not the best in the West, but not the worst I've seen. Definitely dirty. Especially compared to our new filter, which, oddly enough, doesn't have as many pleats. Looks like Subaru has changed the design a little bit on the engine air filter. But all we gotta do is pull the airbox housing back. So there is some debris in here. Might want to blow that out. But we'll take our new air filter, slide it down into the box, Swing the box back around. Put the little feet in the slots. Little tabs at the bottom of the box where they go into slots. Get those tabs aligned. Make sure the box closes and everything fits nice and snug. Pop your latches closed. We're all done once again. Quick, simple, and easy, guys, to do routine maintenance and service on your Subaru. Save the money, do it yourself. Don't depend on the dealership to do everything for you. Next on the docket is our cabin air filter. If you recall back to the first video on the car, we found quite the rodent's nest in here. And I have cleaned that up, but based on that, I don't think anyone's in here to change out the cabin air filter. So let's go ahead and jump on that. So first we pop loose our little strut on the side of our glove box. It's just a little plastic rod. Pull it to the side, it'll pop off. Squeeze the sides of the glove box into the center. You'll come off the detents and your glove box door will just come off of the hinges, easy as can be. You can set that to the side. Now you've got your prize, which is your cabin air filter box. You squeeze these tabs on either side, pull the cover off, and then you can pull out your cabin air filter. Which this one looks like it helped create some of those rodent nests. Nice and dirty and gross. Got our brand new cabin air filter from Subaru. That is a part number 72880AL00A. Take our cabin filter like so. Up arrows facing up. Slide back into the slot. Just like so. Up. Clip it into place. And we're done. Just got to pop our glove box back in. So bring your glove box down. Put the hinges back in place. Swing it up. Make sure you hit the detents. And then all you got to do is reattach your little damper rod. Mine came loose inside the dashboard, so I'm going to take this side cover off to reattach it, but it should just pop on the end there. So next up, we'll be replacing our PCV valve and hose. I'll go ahead and knock out the intake duct. Knock these two worm gear clamps out. Once we got those loose, we'll pop our little push pin up over here. Get that out of the way. Then we've got a PCV hose going in the back side of this silencer box here. I'm going to squeeze that clamp, pull that hose off. I can pull this intake duct off. Get that out of our way. Now we can pop off our PCV hose, which is probably good and well dry rotted and stuck. And no surprise there it is. Got that loose. Twisted off of the PCV valve. This is why we always buy a hose when we go to change a valve and we don't know the age or mileage, because they tend to dry out and get brittle and break. As that one did. Nice big crack down the side of it. So now that we got that out of the way, we can remove our crusty and disgusting old PCV valve that looks like it has never been replaced. Just a 19mm socket dropped right on top of it. I'm going to turn it out. And there we go. Prime Disgusto. No shaky shaky, no rattle rattle. We'll grab our brand new PCV valve, which is a Subaru 11810AA131. Nice and shiny. Shaky shaky, rattle rattle. Put a little bit of a liquid sealant or some Teflon tape on the threads, just like so. Go ahead and thread it back into the engine block and run it on home. There's a torque spec, but adding Teflon tape or any kind of silicone sealer can't affect the reading. We've been torquing it with a torque wrench, so kind of just need to snug it up. Don't forget, that's a big steel plug going into an aluminum hole. Now that is done, we can grab our brand new PCV hose, which is Subaru part number 99071AD96A. Nice little Ziploc bag for parts these days, Subaru. And our gross hard cracked split hose and our nice squishy brand new hose. Go ahead and drop that down on the end of the PCV valve. Fully seated, and pop it onto the nipple here at the intake manifold. And we are done. There's our PCV valve right there behind the EGR pipe. And our last piece of service today will be cleaning up our carboned up, disgusting throttle body. Need to disconnect the electronic throttle control pigtail here. I'm going to disconnect the map sensor just so I can get that wiring out of the way. And we got two coolant hoses going to the throttle body. We're going to use pinch off pliers to pinch off the coolant hose so that it doesn't leak when we take it loose. And then we got 4 10mm headed bolts to remove to take the throttle body off the intake manifold. Pinch off our coolant lines. Take our hose clamp pliers. Disconnect that. Coolant hose is off to the side. Make sure they're good and clamped off so they don't leak. And now, pop off our bolts. And pop off our disgusting carboned up throttle body. Well overdue for a nice cleaning. Also reach in here and we'll pull out our old throttle gasket, as it is disgusting as well. And look at all that buildup on the throttle gasket. All kinds of gross gooiness. Now, as far as cleaning all this disgustingness up in this throttle body, all I really need is a good can of carb and throttle cleaner. Spray in there, agitate it with an old toothbrush or a nylon brush, work it in, spray it out. That's all you really got to do. All right, guys, and that is basically a brand new throttle body. Needless to say, that spray stuff is like mega super cancer, so don't breathe it in. Use it in a well-ventilated area. Use eye protection. You don't want it in your eyes. And it's good to have gloves on. You don't want to get it on your skin either. So throttle body cleaned up, ready to go back in. New throttle body gasket is a Subaru 16175AA430, I believe. Part number's a little screwy there. But There's a new throttle body gasket versus our old crusted up gross one. Let's pop that into the bore. Just clip it right in there. Throw our throttle body back up into place. Run our bolts back in. Snug these down. Final torque spec is 8 Newton meters. Now we got the throttle body installed and torque back down, we can put our throttle body coolant lines back into place. Reattach our clamps and then take our pinch off hose pliers off. Pinch off pliers are off. Hook in our throttle body pigtail and our map sensor pigtail. All good to go there. Now we'll throw our intake pipe back into place. Our duct. And don't forget our PCV hose back here at the base of the silencer. Put our little push pin back into place. Hold the duct tight to the throttle body, tighten the worm gear clamp. And tighten our worm gear clamp at the airbox. And with that, we are all done with our servicing for today. And brings us to the end of today's video. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one.